Squishy, squishy. Whether you know it or not, if you work in any kind of job that requires creativity, whether you're a writer, a designer,
an entrepreneur, a producer, a photographer,
it doesn't matter. Any type of creative job, you have experienced creative burnout at least once in your life. It's normal for our creativity to fluctuate, and we have the occasional creative block. But creative burnout is different. This is when we're physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausted about creative work. We don't talk enough about creative burnout, so let's review together 10 symptoms that you need to pay attention to. If you want to know if you're suffering about creative burnout at the moment, try to count in your head to see how many apply to you. Let's go! Number 1, procrastination. Putting off work for a couple of days because you don't feel like it or you don't have enough mental energy is completely normal. Nothing to worry about. But if you procrastinate for very long periods of time or you're putting off important deadlines, that may be a symptom of creative burnout. Number 2, struggle to do basic work. Is your to-do list getting longer and longer, but you really struggle to check some very basic tasks of it? Are you burying your head in the sand and neglecting the growing mountain of little things that you should really get off your plate? This may be a symptom of creating burnout as well. Number 3, constant tiredness. Sometimes we're not getting enough sleep and we feel a little bit sluggish in the morning. But if you feel constantly exhausted over a long period of times, even when you're getting enough sleep, this may be a sign that you're burning out. Number 4, inexplicable stress. Creative work can be stressful. We all know that. We have short deadlines, complicated projects, pushy clients. If you know what's making you feel stressed, that's okay. But creative burnout can make you feel constantly stressed without being able to pinpoint the exact cause. Number 5, unhealthy comparison. We are more connected than ever, and many creators follow the work of other creators online. Some creators are more productive than others. If you can't help but keep on comparing yourself to other creators and their output in a negative way, that may be a symptom of creative burnout. Number 6, unbalanced content consumption. As a creator, it's vital to balance our creative input with our creative output. However, when we're suffering from creative burnout, we may find ourselves endlessly scrolling on social media, binging Netflix, and not creating that much work of our own. Number 7, morning dread. Have you ever experienced that feeling in the morning when your mind is racing to the future, but everything looks bleak? That can happen, and if it doesn't last for too long, that's completely okay. But if it's happening to you all the time, that may also be a sign that you're burning out. Number 8, harmful habits. Eating more than usual, eating unhealthy, abandoning your exercise routine, drinking a lot of alcohol. When we burn out, we may use these dangerous coping mechanisms that are actually going to end up leaving us feeling even worse. Number 9, irritability. Are you getting frustrated with your colleagues, annoyed with your spouse, or maybe snappy at your kids? Being more temperamental than usual can be a sign of creative burnout. Number 10, self-doubt. Finally, the last symptom of creative burnout is when you may be feeling like you will never be good enough, that you don't have enough imagination, or that your work is pointless, despite the fact that you have created really good work in the past and even received praise for it. If you are experiencing some of these signs, this may be creative burnout. If you're experiencing a lot of these signs or over a very long period of time, it may actually be something worse. Many of these signs are also found in depression, anxiety, and sleep problems. If you are in doubt, it's always a good idea to talk to a professional. Okay, so now, how do you bounce back from creative burnout? There are actually a few things that you can do. First, please do get support. Because creative burnout affects our work, we sometimes tend to want to hide it from our colleagues, but grabbing someone you trust and just telling them, hey, I think I'm feeling a little bit burnout at the moment, can be extremely helpful. Most people will be so happy to help you, whether by just lending an ear, helping you with the project, or maybe help you brainstorm fresh ideas if you're stuck. Then take a break. And I don't mean a quick walk, which may be helpful if you have just a regular creative block, but won't be that helpful with creative burnout. I mean, a proper break. Take a few days off, put your autoresponder on with your email. Let everyone know that you will be offline. The anxiety of knowing that you're supposed to be working right now or to produce something can create a vicious cycle. So it's extremely important to let everyone know that they can't expect any work from you during your break. Use the time to do things that have nothing to do with work. Spend time with your loved ones, cook, watch movies, take naps, or you could also just do nothing. That's completely fine. You're on a break. Self-reflection is also an amazing tool to fight creative burnout. It can be really hard to figure out how to fix the problem if you don't really understand where exactly it's coming from. Journaling can work, talking to a friend can work, or also sometimes just talking out loud to yourself to debug the problem and try and understand what the source is. Something I really like to do when I'm suffering from creative burnout is to look at my past work. Go look at your past work and give it an honest look. If it's good, remember how hard it was to produce and you still did it. And if it's bad, give yourself a pat on the back for having made so much progress over the past years. Channel the feelings that you're experiencing while reviewing your past work to overcome your self-doubt. Finally, remember to start with the basics. What is the smallest atomic unit of creative work that you can do today? Are you trying to write a book? Just write one paragraph. Are you trying to design a website? Just create one wireframe. Instead of looking at this giant mountain of work and not knowing where to start, take your first baby step. Creative burnout is a but you can bounce back from it. Just pay attention to the symptoms and give yourself the space to get better. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments and make sure to subscribe. And if you have a friend who's currently going through creative burnout, make sure to share this video with them.